Okay, I had this girl buzz me a moment ago, so I think that I'm gonna at least put a veil on. Oh, I had one buzz me yesterday too. She followed me. Oh, there she is. She followed me all the way to my garage. It's like she might be the same one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get these girls to go inside, so that I'll have less of them getting on my panel. All right, girls, inside you go. In. Let's go. Stop waiting. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Looks like I might have some navigation going on, maybe. Or maybe because I'm in the way. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Get. Get. Well, what's your delay there? Usually they rush right in. I don't know. They're hoping that it was sugar water. Oh, you're going to hang out there? Well, shame on you. Okay. Oh, there was a bee inside there. How did you get in there? I'll never know. Okay. I will never know. Don't know, don't care. Just get it done. That girl just stung me. Oh, there's some. I had a feeling these girls they're agitated today. I had a feeling they were. Don't know why. Probably something going on in the hive, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, but she got me on the hand. They are being aggressive today. Aggressive girls. Yep. I kind of suspected they were going to be aggressive today. It's like when it's cloudy. When it's cloudy, they're more aggressive. And so that's why I got my suit already. That's why I put this on. It's like it's cloudy. I had a girl chase me yesterday. And so I suited up. I'm going to be suiting up. Yeah, I suspected they were going to do something like that today. Got to go with their instincts. That she stung me right in between the finger there. Okay, well, that's that. Let's put you back here. Somehow. Yeah, I'm gonna be totally suiting up all the way. I'm gonna be all suited up. Yeah, that finger's gonna swallow. Now, when I got one on my leg a couple weeks ago, and I went right in the house and I iced it for like 5 minutes, and the pain went away. At first, it hurt to put the ice on it, and so I just held it there for 5 minutes. Only I got two like brief itches after that, just really brief. Like what? Never swelled, nothing. We'll see how this one does. Okay, what? Oh my gosh, yeah, you're gonna get me today, aren't you? Okay, so that panel's in there. Let's go check out the other situation. Okay, I have replaced that front panel more times than I can ever think about counting. And that was the first time I've ever got stung. I've never wore gloves or anything. But today I just felt it. That's why I put my veil on. I thought about putting my gloves on, but I didn't. And that's why I should have. See, we go against our instincts. Yeah, we get stung. Yeah, we get stung. So today what I'm going to do is I am going to pop this lid. Instead of smoking, I'm going to spray some sugar syrup on them. That'll kind of weigh them down. And I'm also going to put on my whole suit. Now, I usually don't put on a whole suit. In fact, I've come out here and done this many times with, nothing. just like I am right now. Just no gloves, no veil. But this time of year, they are so agitated by not just the wasps and the what is it? So I got wasps and I got yellow jackets. So that's not the only thing that's agitating this time of year. This time of year, there's so many marauders trying to get in. I watch them constantly battle. Anytime I'm sitting down there the last week or so, my bees are constantly battling, bringing out the ones that made it their way in. So my bees are really agitated right now. A lot of things trying to get in there and, destroy them. So I am going to buckle up. Buckle up. I forgot to take my glasses off. Yeah, I thought I was gonna have them on. Okay, so I even have some long, airy pants on. So long, airy pants will, as long as they're not touching the skin, airy. It's kind of like flop around. Yeah, the bees can't, obviously, their stingers aren't that long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly pop this and see what these girls do. Oh, I hear a lot of noise. We'll just sprinkle them with some syrup. Make them a little happy. Bring a little happiness into their world. Yep. Make them a little bit happy. Like, oh, maybe I'll just sit here and eat. Maybe I won't go sting that guy. I want to sting that guy, but this food sure tastes good. I think I'll just eat. I think I'll just eat some food here for the moment. So yeah, I just don't like to smoke my girls. That's really properlized pretty good. Oh my gosh, you girls are so noisy in there. Look at you. Yeah, you want to sting me, don't you? Of course you do. Yeah, I would too. Somebody come in and take my house apart? Yeah, I'll be in them. I'll be all over them. So yeah, they're aggressive today. And you can't blame them. Cannot blame them. I don't. I mean, just think about it. Somebody comes into your home. They start dismantling your home. What you gonna do? You got a gun? You're gonna pull it out, right? You're just gonna pull it out. You're gonna draw your guns. So you can't blame them. I don't blame them at all. So I'm just gonna brush this in, kind of slow like, because I want it to go down for a little while. I just don't want to go. I don't want it to go straight down. I want it to go a little at a time, create that smokiness in there, and that way it has more opportunities for that smoke to get on more bees. If I just dump it and rush it right on down in there, that's kind of almost counterintuitive, right? So the real McCoy is to just smoke it for a little bit, just back and forth. Yeah, you want to sting me? I was ready for you today. Well, except for on the finger. Yeah, so I'll be wearing gloves from now on. I pull that panel. Now I'm going to be changing that front panel because I'm gonna downsize this hive to probably one brood box. So when I do that, I've got my system already, my backup system all ready to go, and I'm going to just take this bottom part off. And I have my other bottom part ready to go, and I'll exchange them. Pretty simple, really. I just don't like taking them apart, my hives, and not unless I have a really good reason to do so, like make splits or something. Other than that, I leave them alone. Yeah, let nature do its own thing without my interference. I try to interfere. My preference is to not interfere at all. But because of these Varroa mites and all that kind of stuff that's going on, we got, as a beekeeper, we're either going to be the beekeeper or we're not. And so my choice is to do at least engage in as minimal as possible, but enough. Sorry, girls. Yeah, you got yourself. Yep. There you go. They got a lot of propolis built up on there. Keep the marauders out. Right? They want to keep those marauders out. And so there's a lot of A lot of that going on. A lot of marauding going on. Try to give those girls a chance to get through without me crushing them first. Okay. That's as good as it's gonna get. And there we go. Today I got another bee sting. It's like, what? And so, that's kind of it. So what I'll do is I'll take this. There's a little bit, whoops, there's a little bit left in this thing. So what I'll do is I'll come over here, just kind of shake it right in there. That's right, I didn't miss you girls. There you go. And they'll just eat that powdered sugar up. Easy peasy. And there you go. And that is how I do that. Probably should go in and ice this thing. I suspect. What do you think? Should I go ice it? I'm still not trusting this one girl that every time I'd sit here, she was all over me yesterday. Because they have facial recognition. And if one decides that she doesn't like me, she can come back after me. She can come and get me. Like, oh, I know, I recognize you. I don't like you, I'm gonna come get you. Right? So, yeah. So that's kind of it. Done deal. Right? So, I got a bee sting again. What's really cool though is because I got stung right in the eye, right here between the nose and the corner of the eye. Within seconds, I felt my lymph nodes go inflamed all over my body. Just, that's the first time I ever experienced that. I've been stung so many times in my life. I've never experienced my immune system skyrocketing and going off like fireworks before. That was the first. And so about an hour went by, I started feeling tightness in the chest, a little bit difficulty breathing. Just felt like my body was inflamed. So about 2.5 hours after the initial sting, it had gotten worse. So I thought, okay. So I drove myself to the emergency room. And I just checked myself in. I just sat there for another 3 hours until I'm okay. And I checked myself back out. They didn't do anything. They didn't give me nothing. They just made sure I wasn't dying and go sit over there. I sat there for 3 hours in the emergency room. Just, should I go home now? How do I feel? You know, do that constant reevaluation, reassessment, you know. I said, I'm good now. I'm checking out. She goes, well, I can't stop you. I said, yeah, that's right. So I was talking earlier about farm animals. So the beehives, when we buy them from a farmer, those are not the kind of bees we want. No, don't want those. It's best to try to find someone who just grows them from their backyard. They expand their own apiary, maybe they got 10 or something, or 5. You know, and they grow them organically, and they don't have a mite problem. They're not mass producers. They're just organic bees that go about their organic lives, right? Like my swarm I caught. So, and that's why all 4 of my hives died when I first started, is because I had farm animals. I'm not interested in selling a bunch of bee packages and having mass quantities of bees, and you know, because when you live in the city limits, you can only have 3 hives in the city limits. So where I'm at, the limit is 3. I'm in the city, and so I got 2. I can only have 1 more legally. Now I can have probably a lot of like little nuke hives. Put them together and they'll look like one hive, right? Just kind of stack them close together, flip one this way and that way, it'll look like one hive. I've built a lot of them. Just scrap wood. Oh, well, what if those dimensions enough to make a hive? Before I know it, I got another hive. And so what I've come to the conclusion of is every everything that I've observed about these bees the last few years is they actually do best in a box that's maybe 6 frames, right? So I had a 10 frame all baited and ready to go. I had multiple 2 frames. I had a 5 framer, and they were all these bees. There was like 50 bees in each one of those at the same time, trying to decide which one they were going to swarm into, right? And they chose, out of all those options, a 10 framer, a 2 framer, I think that was a 5 framer in the front, 3 or 5 frame, and they chose the 6 framer. Well, that tells me something. I'm not going to ignore that, because the one that was in the front, that was higher in the tree. It looked good. If I was a bee, I'd go into. I'd say yeah, but they chose a 6 frame, this 6 frame nuke box that I made. Now I designed this and made it for shipping. So when I'm shipping bees or something, I can easily seal this thing, right? Just close the flap. The top seal is really good, and I can even open up the little flap that I got on the top for venting if it's hot in there. And so 6 framers. So that's probably what I'm going to make instead of all these. I made a half a dozen of the brood size boxes, and I'll probably leave them that size, but I don't see myself using them. Eventually I might even break them down and turn them into 6 frames. So you can see what the 6 frame looks like. Here it is. That's a 6 frame nuke that I built right there. And that's what that big swarm, that's what they went into right there. That swarm came from right there, in between the trees and the grapevine. It came right in here to, that's right to this nose. I'm going like, okay, it's time to go. Time to get up. Rise up. Right? And so, yeah, I rose up. Oh, there's a white girl. She's trying to get in the top. Oh, she might be a nursing bee. She doesn't know about the entrance. She's trying to get back up into the crack up there, and she doesn't know where else to go. Oh well, she'll just have to find her way. Don't you dare. No, girl. Are you the same from yesterday? Maybe I'll put a yellow marker on, catch her and put a yellow marker on her so I can give her a name. There you are, Sue. Yeah, we're meeting every day like this, aren't we? Oh, shoot. And so, yeah, if you can all avoid it, do not buy farm bees. I've been doing this for several years now, and it's very clear. That wasp is buzzing right around in front of that camera. Oh my gosh. They're everywhere. So I strongly recommend it. Now, when I first went to go buy my first hive, I didn't go buy my first hive. I already knew that. That's not what I wanted. So what I did is I built this nuke box up here. And my first year, I tried to catch a swarm using all the recommendations. Nothing. No swarm caught. So the next year, I thought, well, I need to get this party started. I had already built my 6 hives. So I went ahead and bought the package. That wasp is dead. And so, and then in June of that year, I made a split. I bought another queen for like $50, and I made a split out of that first hive. So I went into the summer with 2 hives, and they slowly both died from infection because they're not organic bees. They're farm bees. They do mass production, so therefore mass varroa mites grow, so mass disease grows, and because there's nothing steady about these farm bees. These queens are bred with one thing and one thing only, and that is to lay 3,000 eggs a day. No, bad idea. So this swarm that I caught, oh my gosh, they drank all that sugar syrup. I just put that in there, I think yesterday. They drank that whole big jar of sugar syrup, that swarm did. Oh my gosh. That usually lasts like a week. Well, I'm going to explain to you why I did that though. The reason why I put that sugar syrup in there yesterday, this is the middle of September, pushing. And no, girl. So this is pushing middle of September. And many places, uh, the girth has been on for maybe a month. Girth is when there's really not much food for them. So because of the kind of bees that the swarm is, they're organic bees. At this time of year, she's not laying drones. So by feeding that hive at this time of year, I'm cool. There's not going to be this explosion of brood and egg laying and stuff like that. They've got it under control. What they're just focusing on one thing and one thing only, including the queen, is managing the hive, getting the sugar, the honey built up for the winter. And I can't believe they drink that big jar of syrup. Yeah, what I do is I just take some, 1 to 1. So I'll take like 8 cups of water, boil it, bring it to the boiling point, then 8 cups of granulated sugar, and take it off the pot, stir it in there until it's clear, let it cool down. Usually the next day, then I'll give it to them the next day. So I'm gonna give them another jar. Let them store as much as they want, because they're not going to. This time of year, the hive is not going to do a split. They're not going to likely make queens. Instinctively, they know that's a death knell, man. So any swarming that happens this time of year, that swarm will die. There's no storage. There's nothing ready for them to get them through the winter. And they generally instinctively know that, so they don't do that. So I'm okay doing a heavy feeding on my swarm that I caught this time of year. I'm okay with that. And let them store up as much as they want. If they can get 6 frames of honey stored up in there, we're talking the big frames, right? The brood frames. Typically at a super, you have much smaller frames, almost half the size of a brood frame. So if they store 6 brood frames of honey, that'll get them through the winter most likely. And they won't have to have those big die-offs that this main hive did. And so if this main hive that I got dies off, I'm actually okay with that. I'm still going to try to keep them alive, but I'm okay with this hive just dying and making splits from my organic hive, the one that I caught from nature. Because we have no apiaries around here. There's no bee farms in the city in here. So we've got forests, we've got woodpeckers that create these big holes, and bees go in there and they make natural homes. And this is a big forest back there, but it's protected land. It's called wetlands, and it's protected by the government, United States government. And it comes over onto my property. Big branches, I'll be walking around. Barely miss a big, huge branch just falls right behind me. I've had some things hit me, but not big enough to kill me. And just like, ow. Just all of a sudden, there's no sound. It's really weird. There's no like crack. It's just, boom. I'm walking, and all of a sudden, right behind me, there's a big, huge branch that just boom, shook the ground right behind me. If it hit me, it would have killed me. From up there, yep. So this is kind of a dangerous place back here. I keep my eyes open, right, for those branches. Yeah, yeah. And so I guess I'll feed those girls some more. I'll take that panel in there and see how many row mites. Gosh, this wasp was walking all over this phone, cleaning itself like it's just making itself at home. Yeah, I see you. And so, yeah, these wasps are really heavy. So what I did yesterday, I used to have some. So yesterday afternoon, I had screen in the front, but because we're getting cooler nights, I took the screens down yesterday, and I put sliding woods. I call them slider woods, because that's what I do with them. I slide them back and forth, open up the hole, less or more, depending upon what's going on. And so by doing what I've done, it takes the place of the screens, and I still have a small hole because the marauders and the wasps and the yellow jackets constantly trying to get in there. And so by having a smaller hole, it's much easier for them to defend that. But it's like really hot during, like in the summer that time, when it's like gets into the hundreds around here. Like I've been on my roof, tearing my roof off, replacing it, tearing off big huge sections because I had a lot of water damage. So I got up there and I had to cut huge sections out of my roof. Not just remove it. That was after I removed the shingles and the water barrier. And so I had to cut off big huge sections, and I had to replace that and then re-roof it. And yeah, that was a solo job. I did it 100% all by myself. Roofing, not hard. I mean, I've never done roofing before, but what I did when I went to take the shingles off, I thought, I'll just see how the pros did it. So I would get to a certain area and I would remove a section and I would see how they were laid. Oh, so on the end, when you get to the end, you got a double layer this way, stagger. So I just kind of did that when on the corners, when I had two sections of my housing roofing come together. I seen how they did that, and I didn't write any notes down. Maybe I should have. I don't know, but I didn't. It stayed, and so I did that with. So as I removed all the shingles, I did that with the whole roof. Took notes in my head where I should do what, and understanding even the concept why they did it. So once I understood why they did it, it was actually pretty easy to remember. Because when I get here, I need to do that, and here's why. It's not just remember to do that. No, I like to know why I'm doing something, not just that I'm doing it. What's the purpose? What's the causality? And so it's easy to remember things that way too, right? Drawing a picture and recycle it. Oh yeah, this and that, and that. Oh, and then it all comes together like a puzzle. Got it. And so I had no leaks when I was done. I did have a problem with my skylights. I got two big skylights. I decided to put the old ones back in there. Bad idea. They didn't. So the flanges that were with them, the flanges were broken up. But I thought I can go buy what's called flash guarding, and it would solve the problem. No. Yeah, if you're gonna do that kind of thing, you got skylights, and the skylights have flanges. Let's just replace the skylights because they come with their own kits and stuff, that's designed for those that way. Yeah, so I had a little bit of leakage for a while, but I solved that too. Anyway, that's the roofing thing. Yeah, they ate all that syrup. That's crazy. Yeah, so that's kind of my day today. Well, when it comes to bees anyway, I've got so many other things I got to get done. I've got these grapes that are coming on. I need to pick those and run those through my processing system. And yeah, that's what I've been doing the last 3 days. Not just when I find the time, I pick the grapes. I've got these other things too. It's like when you got 20 projects going on at the same time, you have to select which one is priority one at the moment, right? What one needs my attention like right now, and then that's what I do. Okay, if I don't pick those, they're gonna rot. Is anything else gonna rot if I don't get to it right now? I'm looking around going, no. Yes, but this will, so I do that. Prioritizing, right? Time prioritization. That's what I do. And I usually pick more blackberries this time of year, but I just didn't want to. I got so many other things, strawberries, blueberries. I picked so many blueberries and strawberries and raspberries and cherries and peaches, and right now I'm picking apples too. I got some apples that I'm picking from my apple tree. I got a neighbor that's got a whole bunch of apple trees too. Just a couple houses down, and I've already made some applesauce from his apples. They're the kind of apples that are reddish. They have the red streaks, and then the kind of a yellowish, greenish look. Oh my gosh, it is so good. Don't have to add no sugar. You don't have to add nothing to these apples. I just boiled them for cooked them for 35 minutes, and then strained them. And then I took that water that I boiled them in, because when I cut my apples up, I cut them up in quarters, and as I'm cutting them up in quarters, I have a big bowl, and I toss those into water. How's that wash its back? It's on that phone. So I got this big bowl, so I'm cutting up all my apples and throwing them into the water, stirring them up now and then so that I don't have floaters, because I don't want no oxidation on my apples. And so I wash my apples before. Now these are organic apples. Nobody uses pesticides on their apples around here. So I just cut away the wormholes, worm sections, and keep the good part of the apple. That's okay. I'd rather do that than get the poisons and stuff, chemicals. Anyway. And so, but a lot of apples are good. There's no worms. The worms don't get in all the apples. I've eaten a number of apples from my tree. There was no worms. I gotten into them. There's a lot of wasps today. I'm gonna have to take some out. When I'm done doing this, I'll be doing some whack-a-moling. Whack-a-moling is probably about right. And I got a lot of bees bouncing around, marauders trying to get in. Yeah, I can understand why I got stung out in front. So I have to remember that next year, this time. Marauders are so bad. It's even worse when the marauders go into hyperdrive because of the seasonal dearth, where the hives don't feel they have enough food. There must be some hives somewhere in the forest, or maybe there's somebody over there might have a hive. I don't know. And so this is a dearth season of the year. And so these marauders are everywhere looking for food. And so my main hive, I'm not going to feed them. I want them to downsize. I want her to stop laying eggs. Oh, there's not enough food. And they'll tell the queen to stop laying eggs. When she stops laying eggs, after about 3 weeks, that Varroa mite count will go, it'll just plummet naturally, because she's been told. It's not up to the queen. The hive dictates the queen laying eggs when she should stop. But if you have a hive that is a farm hive, the queen spread that way, her offspring spread that way, and yeah, okay, mom is laying eggs so loud. That's good. No, that's not nature. That's not natural. We did that. When we lost 67 or 63% of the hives throughout the United States last year, we did that. That was because of the way that we manage our bees. Right? It's because of farming, predominantly because of the way we farm the bees. It needs to become more organically. It'll take a lot longer for the farmers, the beekeepers, to get to their destination of having lots of hives, but it'd be better for nature, better for the bees over time. And that's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it for the reasons for which I know to be empirically true. Critical analytical reasoning. That's what I do. Yo. That's how I roll. Oh. And so both hives look good. Entrances are narrowed. Marauders are trying to get in. I got no bees trying to get into my baited nukes, which is probably good for them. And I'm going to go give those girls some more syrup. The only reason why they would have consumed that fast is because of the dearth. I can't imagine any other reason. I don't recall seeing that big of a jar being gone in just, what was it? Gosh, 24 hours. 24 hours I drank that whole big, huge jar. Whoa. Okay, girls, I'll give you another one. I don't care. Good. Got some. Oh, there are so many marauders trying to get in at what I just did. Some of them have powder on them. I think there's some of them might be from my hive. They've never been to the entrance and they don't know how to get back in. I'll go put a stick on those ones that have powder on them and bring them to the front entrance. Hey, girl. What? She comes and landed here. I didn't know if that was the one that's been trying to sting me or not. She just kind of sat there, kind of glared at me. Maybe I'll sting you. Okay, so that's kind of my day. Please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell. There's one thing that some people don't think about this. There isn't one successful podcast out there. Not one. Without people like you subscribing. Not one. It's people like you and me that allow them to even stay in podcasting. So we have to subscribe. If we see something interesting or curious, it doesn't cost us anything. When I subscribe to someone, it's because, that's interesting. I think I want to watch more of that down the road, and I'll subscribe to that person. And when they make a new thing or something like that, when I go on YouTube, it pops up, and it's like in the front of my line. So, oh, there's Mark. He's back with that same silly talk thing. Or a lot of it's informational, of course. That's good information, but there you go. That's it. That's my day. Bye now.